Good morning, Mashpee families, school committee, tribal council members, honored guests, retirees, Superintendent DeBoer, extended family and friends viewing on our live stream, and most important, our amazing graduates for the commencement ceremony of the Mashpee Middle High School's class of 2021. My name is Mark Ballastracci, and I am the proud, extremely proud principal here at MMHS. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate this exciting day to recognize the hard work and dedication of our students and to wish them great success as they move on from high school to the next chapter of their lives. At this time, I would respectfully ask everyone to please stand and remain standing after our MMHS graduates in graduation chorus performs our national anthem. Again, please stay standing after as well.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
As Alexia Brandt, Jessica Rulo, and Clara Sines. Wonderful job, thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage MMHS graduates Caesar Hendricks and Janaea Perry to open our ceremony with a Wampanoag prayer.
Winikisak, Natasui Caesar. Good day, everyone. My name's Caesar Hendricks, and today we'll read you the Wampanoag Prayer. Puyo tamuonk wachi asia kwampakish.
Manat ka katapatanamu nikiana chi kia kasinish. Katapatanamu wachi wami tia kasanish. Katapatanamu wachi kisak. Katapatanamu wachi anakwasak. Katapatanamu wachi aki. Katapatanamu wachi sipuwash. Katapatanamu wachi katahanash. Katapatanamu wachi wami awasak. Katapatanamu wachi wami natonkwasak. Ananama anian namanas wipi wanakik. Ananama anian Asinit Wipi Sompuak.
Now I'll translate for you. A prayer for every time. Creator and ancestors, I thank you for all things. I thank you for the sky. I thank you for the stars. I thank you for the land. I thank you for the rivers. I thank you for the oceans. I thank you for all creatures. I thank you for all my relations. Help us to see only what is good. Help us to do only what is right. Katapatash. Thank you.
Thank you, Caesar and Janaea, for sharing your amazing culture with us all in attendance this morning. Next, I'd like to welcome Red Hawk singer Chinoke Pocknet to our ceremony. The Red Hawk Singers, led by Mr. Dave Pocknet, has instructed members of the Wampanoag tribe in this rich tradition, and it has been handed down from generation to generation with great pride. We thank you, Chinoke, for joining us and sharing your tradition on this important day.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to say congratulations to you graduates of 2021. A word I can think of in my head about your struggles is the word resilient. You strive to make a better way for yourself through this pandemic, through this tough times. And as you move on throughout your life, continue that way, continue that resiliency. Continue that good way, that happy way. Keep you in your minds and in your thoughts. Fight strong like Coach Diggs would. You know, keep that in the back of your mind. And remember, Mashpee will always be here. So go out, spread your wings. Maybe find a family, find a career. But you can always count on Mashpee. Mashpee will always be here. When you look upon Mashpee, they will be here. Your family, your friends, the community. I'm going to sing you two songs this afternoon. The first song is an honor song made by my late brother, Beaver Cleveland. And the second song is a Wampanoag song. And the words, they translate into We Are Mashpee. And I saw it fitting to sing that song because we are Mashpee. With that, these are the songs. Hey ha la ha, hey ha la hey ya hey ya, hey ha la ha, hey ha la hey ya, hey ya hey ha la hey ha la hey ya.
Thank you so much, Chief, for sharing that performance with us. And one more thing while we're please standing. As we know, we lost one of our own over Memorial Day weekend with the passing of football coach and Mashpee alum, class of 2000 graduate, Chris Rendiggs, also known affectionately as Coach Diggs. Coach Diggs was one of the first people I met during my time here who truly loved Mashpee, a graduate and an alum who came back and gave everything he had to this town, this community, and our students here at Mashpee Middle High School. Chris will never be forgotten and always be remembered for living a life so full in just 40 short years. I ask that you please join me in a moment of silence at this time to remember Chris Diggs Rendiggs. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Superintendent Patricia M. DeBoer to share her opening remarks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful day we ordered specifically for this graduating class, and we're so happy to be here this year. So it's with great excitement and pride, gratitude, and a tremendous amount of joy that I get to welcome all attendees to today's Mashpee Middle High School graduation. Our school committee, members of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, members of our team, Team Mashpee, our community members, our families, and most importantly, this amazing group of young people who I believe strongly are going to make our world a better place, our soon-to-be graduates. I am honored to personally share in this milestone event with each graduate and with our families. I would first like to recognize Principal Ballastracci. The class of 2021 is the first class to have the gift of Mr. Ballastracci as their principal for all of their 6 years at MMHS. Thank you, Principal Ballastracci. For your steady leadership and being a role model for excellence. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to all of our Mashpee parents and guardians who wore so many hats over the past 15 months and navigated a challenging journey of unknowns and worries. Your efforts on a daily basis did not go unnoticed and positively impacted the outcome for these students. Starting a new tradition this year, we are recognizing our 2021 retirees, some of whom are able to be with us today. These individuals impacted the lives of many of our graduates during their journey through the Mashpee Public Schools. This year's retirees include Ed McDonald, Fran Laporte, Katie Campbell, Melissa Rizzitano, and Karen Coffrin, all from the Mashpee Middle High School. From the Quashnet School, Lucinda McKay, Alice Shaden, Teresa Arsenault, Sherry Broderick, Louise Johnson, Marilyn Murray, Jane Emery, Eleanor Pagano, Kim Shaughnessy, and Maura Manning. And from Central Office, Catherine Loico. We are so grateful to our retirees for their dedication and for their commitment to our students and our district. So a round of applause, Mrs. Pagano. They're around. So to the members of the class of 2021, you are a very special class in so many ways, not only because of the knowledge, the skills, and your character qualities that each of you possesses and that you've shared with us over many years, but also for the resilience and growth you have demonstrated during a very unique time in our history. During the past 15 months, in addition to navigating the COVID-19 pandemic and all the life-altering experiences related to it, you also experienced unprecedented political chaos, economic uncertainty, civil rights struggles, and climate change fears. With support from your family, from the members of the MPS staff, from your classmates, and from your Mashpee community, you have learned and grown. All of your experiences over these 15 months will forever serve as a landmark in your life. I'd like to share the insights that your class president, Clara Sines, provided in her Outside the Lines article, whatever month that happened to be in. She wrote, "I worked on finding myself during the quarantine. The long days started to blend into one another and made me realize that I needed to make the most of every day. After I realized that I couldn't just pretend everything was normal again, I spent a lot of time making goals, reflecting on what I've already done and what I want to become, and getting up every day with the drive to accomplish something that day. It was after I made this decision that I got back the purpose and motivation I needed in my life and truly found myself. This is a powerful mindset that we should all adopt and we should strive for on a daily basis to be the best version of ourselves as we move forward." And I'm going to share a little age so all of you will start computing how old I am. But I graduated from high school in 1976, and I had 192 classmates. And I was thinking about what would my senior year have been like if we had experienced what you had. In 1976, remote learning and working from home were not options. So I really don't know what our world would have done. How would the experience, though, have imprinted on me and impacted my future decision-making? I believe I would have chosen to live all of the years that followed more fully, being more in the moment and more appreciative of what I had, showing more gratitude for the people in my life, trying harder to understand those around me before judging, and recognizing an urgency to make our world better for everyone. Through the past 15 months, I have been forever changed, and I will live my remaining years with a get-to mindset. To you seniors, you get, that's a very important word, to graduate in one of the most memorable periods in recent history. People will always remember this historic time, the highlights as well as the tragedies and struggles. Through the journey you have taken over the past 15 months, including the memories that we are making here today. Sorry, I don't do well with bugs that crawl on me. Yeah. Usually there's a spider up here at graduation, I must say, in past years, but not today. So anyway, through the journey you've taken over the past 15 months, including the memories we're making here today, you have been given something that previous graduates were not given, the gift of perspective. This gift will serve you well moving forward. Think back on all the things that you viewed as having to do before the pandemic changed our lives. I think many of you experienced a shift in your perspective about school and many other aspects of life. Too often we take for granted the routine aspects of our everyday world. I hope you use your new perspective to build a meaningful life filled with I get to experiences rather than I have to experiences. By adopting a get to mindset in all that you do, you will be amazed at how grateful you will feel throughout your life. With gratitude comes happiness and joy. Be an active and grateful hero in your own life. This year's gift from the Mashpee School Committee is the book 212, The Extra Degree. At 211 degrees, water is super hot. But at 212 degrees, just one more degree, water boils. And with boiling water comes steam, and steam can power a locomotive. The main message in the book is to consistently apply an extra degree of effort in all that you do. How many new opportunities will you discover because you chose to apply a small amount of effort beyond what you normally do? Success with anything, success in anything, has one fundamental aspect: effort. So make 212 degrees a wonderful new habit in your world, a backdrop for all that you do, a habit that will create fantastic life results for you and will serve as an influence on those people around you. Here's one example of how you can embrace the 212-degree challenge. Do something helpful and unexpected for one friend each week of the year to create more than 52 additional possibilities of influence. Committing to operating at 212 degrees in everything you do is something you should reach for. It guarantees to increase your results positively and, in so many cases, increase your results exponentially. The secret to anyone's success is the and then some syndrome. The top people always do what is expected and then some. I want to take a few moments to share a part of my life's journey with you graduates so you can better understand that as we take our personal journeys, we evolve ourselves. And as long as we are always willing to learn and grow and work hard, we can achieve our goals, goals that often change over time and should change over time. I was hired as a teacher in Mashpee when I was 35 years old. My journey from high school graduate to Mashpee teacher included earning 2 associate degrees, then working for a couple of years in law offices, and I learned a tremendous amount there, then returning to school to earn a bachelor's degree in accounting, then working at a local scientific organization that might be in Woods Hole for about 5 years as a financial analyst and auditor, while earning a master's degree in business administration. After I had my 2 sons, I decided to go back to school for a master's degree in education and to obtain a license to teach. If I was going to be away from my children, for me, the work needed to not only be joyful, but also rewarding, something that would make a difference for me and for others. After completing the program, I spent a year substitute teaching in various districts across Cape Cod, including Mashpee. There was a significant difference in how I felt when I substituted in Mashpee. I was noticed and valued, and I became hopeful that I would eventually obtain a full-time teaching position here. I share this 17-year overview with you, our graduates, hoping that it will be helpful to you as you begin your post-Mashpee public school journey. I have learned and grown from every work experience I've ever had, and each has contributed to making me the person I am today. Your path does not have to be clear at this time. View everything you do as an opportunity to learn and grow. Commit to working hard. With every role you take on, be your best self. If you do what is expected and then some, you will land exactly where you are supposed to be and where you want to be. I'm going to take a little time to share some insights from the members of the class of 2021. I gather these from different locations. But Matt Bowen, some of his advice is control what you can control, and do not take the little things for granted. From Nick Santos, I would tell my freshman self to stay in your own lane and to block out the noise and just focus on working as hard as you can every day, no matter what, and always get your schoolwork done, or whatever work you have coming forward. For Clara Sines, be yourself, embrace who you are, and don't let anyone tell you you can or can't be. From Cam Sweeney, I worked on my patience during quarantine. As a senior, I'm more confident than I was as a freshman. If I could give my freshman self some advice, it would be, don't worry about messing up. That's very true. Logan Westcott tells us to stay organized, enjoy every moment, and don't worry so much. Ryan Hendricks, be vocal and strong with your opinions. Jack Finitsky, focus on the little things. Balance is one of the hardest things to find, but when you have balance, everything becomes easier. Paige Lundberg, good things come to those who wait. Nathan Ware, anyone can be successful in just about any sport, field, or discipline if they have the tenacity and are willing to dedicate the time necessary to be successful. Worry less about what everyone thinks because it just doesn't matter all that much. Caroline Shields, share the appreciation you have for the people around you. Take every day and every opportunity you are given and be grateful and thankful. Brooke Johnston, when you visualize the highest version of who you want to be, you are capable of showing up as that person, so never wait for the world to catch up to you. I love that. Caesar Hendricks, I will miss my Mashpee family that has been created from the Casey Coombs School all the way up through Mashpee Middle High School. And Sydney Puchel, I will miss the community that Mashpee offered me. I only have a little bit more, so stay with me. Like all of the parents and guardians here today and all those who care about these wonderful young people, I wish a little version of myself could tag along with each graduate to share in your adventures and to be a small voice in your ear, guiding and supporting you when you are making decisions. I thank all of our graduates and actually all of the Mashpee students for bringing joy and value to my work and happiness to my life. Throughout my career, and especially throughout these past 15 months, whenever I needed to fill my resiliency cup, I would just find a way to be in the presence of students. They always make me feel happy and more hopeful for a brighter future. We hope that we have provided you, each of our Mashpee graduates, with the knowledge, skills, strategies, and experiences to support your being a purposeful communicator and collaborator, an engaged citizen, making our world better, an empowered knowledge seeker, always seeking to learn more, a critical thinker and problem solver, and an individual who sets goals and makes personal decisions that result in a healthy and happy life. Someone equipped to be resilient. With these Portrait of a Graduate competencies, you can be your best self. We are so proud of each of you and are confident that you will continue to shine a bright light on the district and on our Mashpee community, modeling excellence every day, which is being better today than we were yesterday. Don't live your life by catastrophizing the future. Instead of thinking what's the worst thing that can happen and filling your mind with worry and anxiety, try thinking what's the best thing that can happen. This positive or optimistic mindset allows you to remain hopeful, and you can use optimism as your oxygen. Choose to be a happy person. I have a little thing on my desk. Happy people don't necessarily have everything. They just make the most of everything they have. Give yourself the gift of slowing down, of being true to who you are, of recognizing what really matters, of identifying what really doesn't, and of embracing the awesome gift that this life is. Live inspired. I live inspired every day because of you. Everyone here today, but particularly our graduates, please take 1 minute to think about an extra special person who has helped you, someone who has always wanted what is best for you, someone who has encouraged you to be the best within you. So take a minute, think of that person, visualize that person. As you're thinking about that person, honor them and your relationship by sending gratitude thoughts and by committing to be that person for someone else. Your Mashpee community is very proud of you. This is your home. We hope that your family, your community, the Mashpee Public Schools have provided you with a strong foundation to support the structure that you will build your adult life. We will always be here for you. In the words of Winnie the Pooh, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you for making it difficult to say goodbye to you, this class of 2021. You have positively impacted my life and are forever a part of my tapestry, more than you probably realize. Each of you has earned your falcon wings, and now is the time to spread them, to soar and pursue your passion. Lead by example and make our world a better place by honoring and celebrating diversity, by working proactively to ensure equity for everyone, and by modeling an inclusive mindset. Share your gifts with the world, smile often, and never lose the joy inside you. Remember that you are falcons forever, and the nest is always here to support and embrace you. Why is it great to be in Mashpee? Just look around. It is because of all of you, and it is because of all of us. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Superintendent DeBoer. At this time, we have a couple of performances. So please join me in welcoming the Mashpee Middle High School Chorus as they perform Older by Ben Platt.
57th Street towards Park with the same old song in my same old heart, making plans I'm gonna be when I get older.
Past a gray-haired man and I found his eyes. It's like he knew my thoughts and he read my mind, saying life is gonna find you when it's supposed to.
My feet stopped short and I turned my head, tried to lean into every word he said. Then he said, when you are younger, you wish you're older. Then when you're older, you wish for time to turn around. Don't let your wonder turn into closure. When you get older, when you get older. Oh, 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 Have I killed my thoughts right before their prime? Have I bit my tongue one too many times? Have I said it all the way I really meant to?
I wait till my tomorrow comes is waiting all I've ever done.
Get to know myself in the place I am. Get to fall in love with another man and understand. When you are younger, you wish you're older. Then when you're older, you wish for time to turn into closure. When you get older, when you get older. Oh, 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 when you are young, you wish you're older. Then when you're older, you wish for time to turn around. Don't let your wonder turn into closure. When you get older, when you get older.
Thank you, Zoe, Clara, Alexia, Nicole, Paige, Caroline, and Jesse for that wonderful performance. At this time, I'd like to join me in welcoming our Mashville High School Strings Ensemble, led by Mr. Andy Trianis. All right, and they will be performing Ashokan Farewell by Jay Ungar. Thank you again to Maggie, Dolly, Caroline, Clara, Zoe, and Paige for sharing your performance with us this morning. All right, so now for the reason we're all here today, the class of 2021 graduation. Oh, yeah. When we began the 2021 school year back in September, I never would have imagined being here in person today. Yet here we are, gathered together on this beautiful morning to celebrate this amazing group of young people. I'm so proud to be here and to provide this experience of each of our graduates and your families. Today's ceremony marks more than academic achievement. For our graduates, you spent years dreaming about the freedoms and privileges of adulthood, and I'm confident that your education will launch you wherever you want to go or in whatever endeavor you choose to undertake. The class of 2021 marks the 22nd graduating class from Mashpee Middle High School. And as I welcome you all to this special important day, I want to be sure we all understand what a special year this has been with this class. I have the distinct honor and privilege to serve as the principal of this group. I have been with this group since they were in the 7th grade, and I'm so proud to finally see an entire group through from grade 7 through today. I've seen the graduates of the class of 2021 grow as students, athletes, musicians, singers, performers, artists, entrepreneurs, engineers, and in so many other ways. But most importantly, I've seen them grow into tremendous young people. The 2021 school year has been nothing short of a true challenge, to say the least. And while this year was nothing we could have expected, it was one that taught me so much. Each year, I work to prepare some type of inspirational message for my remarks. And while I want to inspire you, I'm truly overcome with really only one feeling, and that is a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude for being here today, gratitude for these amazing young people in front of me, and gratitude to both work and serve in such a wonderful and supportive community as Mashpee is. Graduation, as we all know, is an opportunity to set new goals, and even more important, a time to renew our commitment to ourselves and those values that make us the individuals that we are. Graduation serves also to remind us how closely our lives are intertwined and how our successes reflect more than just our effort, but how much certain people mean to us. COVID-19, I hate that word. All right, I apologize for using it at least 3 times in this speech. It's presented many significant challenges, from mask wearing, which I'm so thankful we don't have to wear one today. All right. To these fine graduates leading the way and following your beloved yellow dots in the hallway. To my boy Logan's great announcement every morning to remind us to practice safe, conscientious social distancing. To Zoom classes and meetings, altered art and music and athletic programs, to an outdoor prom. With all these challenges, they're certainly real. But I could not be more proud of these amazing graduates for how they not only handled it, but how you all approached each challenge with a can-do attitude. Your positive attitudes and focus on making the most of opportunities is nothing short of inspiring. You have inspired us, and that is truly something I will never forget. You've conquered the challenge of COVID, all right, and your amazing students and staff have worked together. And it's an experience that if we approach it the right way, will only help us to continue and to improve both collectively and individually. All right, you guys have taken control and faced tremendous adversity, and you've done so with grace, dignity, and pride. The MMHS class of 2021 is one that I will certainly remember fondly. It is not solely about your achievements, the games, the performances, etc. I remember this class for far more than those reasons. I'll remember you all for your resilience, your grace, your camaraderie, and for being tremendous young people. Many classes have before you have been known for some of the other reasons, right? Everybody has a unique quality, but you are one of the finest that's ever walked these hallways in Mashpee Middle High School. Throughout this unique and challenging time in navigating and living through a pandemic, your inspiration has allowed me to truly reflect on my life and work. And through that reflection, I'm reminded of how important my family and values are. As you move to the next chapter of your lives, it is vital to remember what and who is important in your life. It all starts, as my predecessor Sean Gilrain would say, with relationships. Relationships give us all purpose. They provide us meaning, and they sustain us in both good and difficult times. Throughout this year, it is the relationships you have with your family, friends, teachers, coaches, mentors, and others that have gotten you to this very moment. The relationships we build and cultivate essentially mold us into not only who we are, but who we all will become. We are literally nothing without them. It was the depth of those relationships that provided the strength and direction for each other and our entire MMHS community as we navigated through this very challenging school year. It is those relationships that buoyed each of you as you navigated the unprecedented stressors of senior year. And it's those relationships that will continue in your memory long after you leave this ceremony this morning. I know I can state with great confidence that it's been our relationships with students and families that have gotten to this day and moment. Relationships are what I feel set Mashpee apart. As a small school, many members of this class of 2021 have traveled through the hallways together since kindergarten for 12 years. And those who entered during that span were welcomed if they had been here forever. The bonds that have formed are profound and genuine. And this journey started with a reluctant step in kindergarten and has now morphed into this amazing group sitting in front of me, our high school graduates, who are confident, hardworking, compassionate, and ready to take on any challenge they may face. This year has not only served as a reminder of what you're capable of overcoming, you've also achieved great things. And so on to your future. As mentioned yesterday at the Class Day event, 89% of our students will go on to higher education. 89% of our graduates. %10 will pursue a gap year or immediate employment. And we have one student, Miss Olivia Duque, who will be enlisting to proudly serve in the United States Air Force. To all of our graduates, as you leave Mashpee and begin a new chapter in life, my advice is simple. Work hard, play hard, always support others in their efforts, and continue to be resilient. Resilience will help you persevere with confidence through the journey that awaits each and every one of you. My final thoughts come from a book by one of my favorite authors, Don Miguel Ruiz, and the book is called The Four Agreements. And I feel his book summarizes my message with you this morning, and I want to share with you just a little bit about each of those four agreements. And I'm going to add to him, and I added a fifth on my own. All right. Number one is be impeccable with your word. When you speak, speak with integrity. Say only what you mean, and use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Say what you mean, and do what you say. Don't take anything personally. And that might be the toughest tenet of this book to realize and work out on. But don't take things personally. As my favorite educator and public speaker, if you ever get a chance to take a look at him, Dr. Adolph Brown, he says, take everything seriously, but not personally. The third tenet is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can. And the fourth is always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. Under any circumstance, remember that. Just simply do your best. As I mentioned to you in the auditorium before we came out to this event, be the best person you can be. And always do the right thing. Not the easy thing, the right thing, every chance you get. Be good, kind, compassionate, and empathetic people, and you will experience nothing but happiness and success. As I stated earlier, I have tremendous confidence that the members of the class of 2021 will continue to make a positive difference in this world. And as you leave here today, I want you to remember this. Every job you do, every endeavor you undertake is a self-portrait of the person who did it. Autograph your work with excellence. Seniors, Thank you for a great and amazing and humbling year. Always remember where you come from and be true to who you are and what you want to do and who you want to be. And as Chinoke Pocknet said earlier this morning, you always have a home here in Mashpee and at MMHS. I wish you all the very best of luck in all of your endeavors, and I thank you for all you have done to make Mashpee so amazing. I am truly honored and humbled to serve as your principal, and congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium our school committee chairperson, Mrs. Nicole Bartlett, for some remarks.
So when they asked me to speak, I didn't realize I was going to be between you and your diplomas. So it feels kind of like I was set up a little bit. So I just want to say quickly, graduates, Mashpee families, faculty, staff, and friends, what a thrill and a privilege it is for me to be here today representing the Mashpee School Committee. I want to first start by acknowledging that we are all on the ancestral lands of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe. I want to express my gratitude and appreciation for the Mashpee Wampanoag and honor the indigenous people who have been living and working on this land for thousands of years. When I was sitting in your seat 30 years ago, I was still figuring out who I was going to be. More than anything, I wanted to do the right thing for myself. I wanted to make the right choices. But making some mistakes, being wrong, is also an effective way to get to where you need to go. My 17-year-old self was pretty excited to spread her wings and join the Big Ten. I was headed to Purdue University in the fall of 1991. I had been the anchor of our version of the Mashpee Minute when I was a senior. And after doing the news every morning for a whole school year, I thought I might like a career in broadcast journalism. I was also wide-eyed and boy crazy and wanted to try everything, and the football games were pretty great. But while there, I got my first C ever, because I was always a straight A student, and that was a big wake-up call for me. After 2 semesters, I had average grades and not much to show for my time there. I realized that the distractions of a Big Ten university were taking the toll on my overall objective, my college degree, and that I had made a pretty big mistake. With my student loan debt already mounting, I had no idea where I was headed. I abandoned my communications major, I broke a lease, I moved home, and I got a job waiting tables in a restaurant. My older brother was the chef, and I think he brought me in because he liked knowing there was at least one server that he was allowed to yell at. So it was kind of a stressful job, but one night the owner's wife, a woman by the name of Dr. Joanne Boyle, came in. She was the president of a small private women's liberal arts college outside of Pittsburgh, near where I grew up. And when we were introduced, she asked about my interests. And one by one, she started to match them with an opportunity at Seton Hill College. By the end of the evening, I had arranged to visit, and after my visit, I enrolled. Dr. Boyle remained a mentor to me at Seton Hill. I was selected as one of her policy interns. I traveled to the state capitol to lobby for higher education. She supported me through 2 summer internships in DC and encouraged me to run for student government president my senior year, which I did. And when I won, it wasn't lost on me. She and Seton Hill had given me something that I might not have gotten at Purdue: confidence, a belief in myself as a woman, and all the unique things that I could offer to the world. I finished my undergraduate degree a semester early to work with our newly elected congressman, a dream job for this now political science major. That job in Congress kicked off a 20-year career. I'll celebrate 20 years in federal service this year in a job that I love, that was interrupted only by graduate school and a couple of other big mistakes. I will always be grateful that I was the one waiting on Dr. Boyle's table that night, because it changed my life. Seton Hill is now a university. It's co-ed. It's probably twice the size it was when I was there. But I still can't believe that what I needed was so opposite of what I'd originally chosen. I had made a mistake. But if I hadn't been wrong, I would have never gotten it right. I say this not for you to question the decisions you've made about where you're going next, but to remind you that should things not go as you planned, that's okay too. Change is the next opportunity, so embrace it. Changing your mind about people can be powerful too. My parents divorced when I was in middle school, and my dad lived in Tucson, Arizona, a long way from Pittsburgh, for most of my teenage years. As my parents fought over child support and all the impacts of their divorce, I came to think of my dad as selfish and uncaring. I spent many years being angry with him, blaming him for things that we couldn't afford, places I didn't get to go. My dad and I later reconciled when he moved back to Pennsylvania more than a decade later. He came to visit me once when I was in graduate school in Michigan. And while a group of us were on our way to dinner one night, a chatty guy in our group of friends, a guy named Tim, after learning my dad was a veteran, started asking him about his time in Vietnam. Now, as a kid, I didn't know much about Vietnam. In fact, I'm still learning about it to this day, as many of us are. And my dad never spoke of it. But here I was in my mid-20s, walking down the streets of Ann Arbor with my dad and a big group of friends and some kid he just met, and I found myself listening very closely to their conversation because he was talking to Tim about Vietnam. And then it happened. I learned how completely wrong I was about him. Tim asked my dad how long he had served in country, and my dad said almost 11 months. But Mr. Dajit, he said, I thought the average tour of duty was only 6 months. It was, my dad said, but my younger brother was drafted after me, and so I stayed, so that he wouldn't have to go. It was during that second tour of duty that my dad was injured in an explosion, an injury that would earn him a trip home and a Purple Heart. My dad passed away from cancer at the age of 56, only a few years after that night. But knowing that he wasn't selfish, that he wasn't uncaring, allowed me to take care of him right up until the moments of his death. And so I am and will always be grateful for that guy, Tim, who I don't even know where he is right now, but he helped me know the truth about my dad, simply by asking a question. So I say to you, ask questions, be open, endeavor to know more of the people around you, endeavor to understand them. The antidote to judgment, they say, is curiosity. And so finally, I want to leave you with one more lesson, something I learned recently from an emergency manager on the Navajo Nation named Doug Watchman. As he was talking about the landscape of the Navajo Nation and the 4 sacred mountains that they pray to, he said that each day he looks to the east and asks for positive thoughts to guide his day, and then to the south and reflects on what he wants to accomplish in that day. Then to the west, asking for the physical, emotional, and spiritual strength he will need, and finally to the north for self-awareness. I think that maybe if we all started our day this way, with gratitude and humility, with mindfulness and peace, we can connect with the people we need to and be open to the lessons that are headed our way. In other words, be present and ready to learn. That's my Falcon 5 reference, Mary Kate. That's my wish for you today, that you prepare yourself to receive life's wisdom, and that you all find a safe, empowering space to get to know yourself. And just enjoy the ride. Thank you.
You guys want your diplomas? Yeah. Thank you very much, Mrs. Bartlett, for sharing that with us. To our graduates, on this 5th day of June, 2021, we present you this diploma. This diploma signifies that you have honorably completed the course of study as prescribed by the School Committee for Graduation from Mashpee Middle High School. At this time, we will begin our awarding of diplomas. All right, here we go. Raylyn Ann Aguar. Abigail Carter Aya. Dolphina Rose Allen. Cole Anderson Allenby. Grace Morgan Antis. William Harrison Baker. Alamjad Ijahala Prince Barbell. Connor James Barron. Jared Paul Barr. Justin Paul Boulogne. Alexandra Sophia Bohm. Caroline Elizabeth Bohm. DJ Carl Booth. Matthew Preston Bowen. Alexia Michelle Brandt. Alexis Ann Bryant. Jagger Bryant. Jalen Burke. Sydney Nicole Burke. Liam Burton. Paige Nicole Cabral. Sierra Marie Casey. Cy Daniel Casey. Kaylin Paige Soloria. Kajana Kamani Charlton, in absentia. Nicole Kimberly Childs. Nathan Spencer Clifford. Kyle Coffrin. Maggie Frances Connolly. Kelsey Lynn Culver. Jake Thurston Cutter. Colin Richard Danforth. Michael Joseph DePaulo. Dakota Aaron Diaz. Abigail Claire Dorman. Megan Michelle Drew. Olivia Rose Duquet. Thomas Patrick Durrett. Shay Charles Eaton. Elise Marie Edmonds. Gavin Eugene Emerson, in absentia. Chapel Elizabeth Fancher. Jordan Ann Fiorentino. Matthew Jacob Fish. Robert Kenyon Foster. Ella Keys Furtado. Happy birthday. Emily Nicole Geisler. Daniel Everett George. Avery James Graven. Christina Grealish. Elena Deidre Hanna. Caesar Dominic Hendricks. Ryan Michael Hendricks. Edward Michael Hilton Smaltz. Emma Riley Holmes. Takari Kair Barbell James. Brooke Delaney Johnston. Chanel Joyson. I'm sorry, I don't possess that skill to help. Benjamin Edward Kennedy. Elizabeth Renee Kidwell. Carla Marie Kozer. Taylor Ann LaCava. Denise Jana Diaz Laguna. Megan Reed Levine. Paige Elizabeth Lundberg. Ruby Knight Lyons. Aiden Andrew McDougall. Shayla Marie Martin. Marcus Diogo Martins. Owen Michael McGovern. Andreas Christianos Mitrakostas. Alexia Ann Montero. Charles Thomas Murphy, in absentia. Courtney Christine Negron. Bridget Grace O'Neill. Gabriel Anthony Pallas. Cassidy Marie Paraso, in absentia. Shivani Mahendra Patel. Gabriel Pereira. Janaea Marlinda Perry. Nathan Carter Perry. Morgan James Peters II. Sydney Olivia Pinhack. Jaquel Benjamin Pyre Simon. Chayton Miles Pocknet. Marissa Margaret Protz. Sydney Ann Puchel. Carolyn May Rayburn. Devin Reed. Jessica Elizabeth Rulo. Nicholas Bellarmine Santos. Matthew Guilherme Seta. Halima Shafi. Angelina Shea. Caroline Elizabeth Shields. Clara Amy Sines. Haley Sue Slager. Sean Edward Smith. Zoe Elaine Squillia. Danielle O'Neill Stewart. Ella Morgan Stolba. Caroline Faith Strick. Cameron Roy Sweeney. Bryce Alexander Kelvon Kaplan. Zachary Frederick David Taylor. Gabriel Daniel Telez. Isabella Julita Thayer. Emily Marie Theodore. Stephen Cleon Theodorides. Haley Ryan Grace Thomas. Abigail Leona Thompson. Jordan Andre Joya. Jack Ryan Vinitsky. Nathan Alexander Ware. Logan Hunter Westcott. Gavin Gregory Wills. Brock Prescott Zielinski. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021. We have two more pieces to our program this morning, and we get to hear from two of our graduates to address their classmates on this important day. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you all the valedictorian for the Nashville High School class of 2021, Mr. Nathan Ware. Nathan has been very involved during his time at MMHS. He is ranked number 1 out of 128 students in his class. Nathan is a member of the National Honor Society, the Mu Alpha Theta Math National Honor Society, and the National Technical Honor Society, for which he serves in the role of president. In addition to academic achievement, Nathan has been a member and captain of the boys' indoor track team and has also participated in the boys' soccer and baseball teams. Nathan is also the senior patrol leader for Boy Scout Troop 36 of Mashpee and recently earned his Eagle Scout badge. Ladies and gentlemen, our valedictorian, Nathan Ware.
Good morning, teachers, administrators, class of 2021, and your 6 honorary guests. I'd like to start off by thanking the Mashpee school system for the wonderful job they've done in advocating for as much normality as possible throughout this tumultuous year. Many schools let their students sit at home all year and learn remotely. To our dismay, the administrators here at Mashpee quickly realized that learning remotely was synonymous to scrolling through TikTok. Although we all would have preferred to sit on our phones at home, we were grateful to be reunited as a class for the last 2 months of school. Thanks to your implementation of the hybrid model and later return to full in-person, we benefited socially from the friendships and interactions that we had missed out on for so long. More importantly, we benefited academically from the authentic, in-person learning experience. And by the end of the year, we as a class had turned in a total of 5 assignments on time. Of these 5 assignments, 4 were Shivani's. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the teachers, as the lack of enforced deadlines this year was absolutely critical to our success. Despite an abundance of challenges, late work, and black screens on Zoom, we, the class of 2021, have done it. We finished high school. We've now reached the end of our government-mandated 12-year sentence and gained an assortment of valuable skills that may or may not be helpful in the future. I mean, for years we've been taught not to talk to strangers on the internet, not to get into vehicles with people that you don't know, and that you need to know long division because you won't have a calculator in your back pocket at all times. Well, curiously enough, we all now have a pocket calculator that, with the touch of a button, will summon an internet stranger to bring you just about anywhere you want. Thanks, Uber. The reason I say these skills we've gained are valuable is not because we're going to need to know how to factor polynomials or identify mitochondria or analyze poetry, but rather it's because we've now all been exposed to an assortment of fields that are important in a productive society. You may have absolutely despised all of it this far, and that's totally okay, but maybe you found one area that you like just enough to major in. Congratulations. By choosing something you enjoy, you're now 20% less likely to end up in that field. The reality is, at 18, we still have so much to do and so much to learn that it's quite difficult to predict what we'll do for the rest of our lives. However, by continuing to search for the things that bring us joy, we can continue the process we started here at Mashpee of uncovering our passions and making our mark. For those of you who have yet to find your spark, keep searching. With a diploma in hand, there are infinite opportunities to discover your passion. The world is your oyster. To anyone with shellfish allergies, proceed with caution. There are so many fish in the sea that you'll surely find people who can keep you afloat out there on your voyage through life. For those of you who get seasick, it's a big blue world out there, so be careful or you might just end up rolling down in the deep, feeling like an astronaut in the ocean. Sorry, guys. But seriously, my biggest concern is how we're going to navigate life beyond high school without Mr. Mack's daily fist bump and reminder that it's always a good day. Mr. Mack, you will be sorely missed. Now, with such a unique high school experience, it would be wrong not to recognize the things that made our class so great. Many of us have been together since the very beginning, and with that comes a closeness that is actually quite uncommon among graduating classes. I mean, where else can a prom ticket get you a front row seat at a live performance by one of the hottest rappers in the game? Huge shout out to this ZYG. You brought massive energy at prom and again yesterday at class day with your poetic talent. Thank you to my friends and everyone else in this graduating class who kept things entertaining. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have spent this year at home learning remotely. I want to ask what it means to graduate from high school. Is it just another milestone on our journey through life? Or does it mean that we're now expected to be fully functional members of society? I hope not. Or is it just another time for an Instagram post with a cheesy caption stolen from a pop song? I mean, admit it, you were all going to use something like, "Now they always say congratulations," or "Started from the bottom, now we're here." I mean, come on guys, we just spent 12 years trying to learn how to use metaphors and figurative language. We can do better than that. A few moments ago, each of you crossed the stage, shook Mr. Ballastracci's hand, and received a diploma to recognize your graduation from high school. There was applause and plenty of cheering when your name was called, and twice as much cheering if your name was Will Baker or Bridget O'Neill. Today we sport classy wizard costumes and fancy rectangle hats to commemorate everything we have accomplished. While it's easy to get caught up in the energy and celebration, I encourage you to consider the deeper meaning. I'd like to propose that our diplomas represent the genuine grit and tenacity that each of us has displayed in our pursuit of this coveted diploma. Going into high school, no one warned us about the long nights of homework, countless hours of studying, and never-ending slew of tests that were to come. Today's celebration is the finish line at the end of a difficult race, and now we reflect on the hard work and dedication that allowed us to achieve success. You now know the full potential of determination, so go on and use it to pursue your future goals. There will be many more races down the line, but now it is time to celebrate our first major success of many to come. Would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? I successfully used a metaphor. In closing, congratulations to the members of the class of 2021. We're now much less likely to spend the rest of our lives living in our parents' basements. We owe our parents a lot for putting us up with us for this long, and without them, we never could have made it this far. In the face of unprecedented challenges this year, we've squeezed out passing grades and made it to school on time every once in a blue moon. Graduates, here we are, across the finish line and awaiting the start of the next big race in our lives. Whatever that race may be, I wish you the best of luck. And don't forget to take pictures with me today so that 20 years from now, you can tell people we went to school together. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Nathan. There was actually 11 assignments that were turned in all year. Not fun. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage for our closing remarks the class of 2021's president, Ms. Clara Sines. Clara is also very involved here at MMHS in addition to being serving in the role of president. She's a member of the National Honor Society, the National Technical Honor Society, and is also a member of the girls' track teams, basketball teams, and our inaugural girls' volleyball team this past year. She is an accomplished musician and singer, and she has demonstrated excellent leadership for her class, especially this year, where she worked to ensure senior year was the best it could be for all of her classmates. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Clara Sines.
I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone here today. Thank you to the teachers and administrators for making our high school experience one to remember. Thank you to all the parents for your commitment to us, for the many rides, and for your love and support that you've given us. And thank you to the students, the class of 2021, for being you, for working hard, and for making this more than just a daily routine. Back in first grade, I was the new kid. I remember walking into Casey Coombs, a new building, new schedule, and a classroom full of strangers, and I didn't know what to expect. I was a little bit scared of what would come. Questions filled my mind. Who will I be friends with? Will I fit in here? Flash forward to just a couple days ago. We were practicing walking for graduation, trying to find the coordination to take each step on beat. It reminded me of when we practiced for hours for our second grade Flag Day performance, which ended with one less baker conscious on the top riser. Thinking back through the years, we've grown so much together and we've become the people that we are today as a class. Today, graduating high school doesn't just mark the end of a chapter of life, but the beginning of the next chapter that has endless possibilities. For the past 18 years of life, we've had our friends, parents, siblings, teachers, mentors, coaches, and others there to teach us the skills that we need to make our mark on the world and make it far on our own. But why did they put so much time and effort into that? Today is the day that marks an end of an era based solely on learning and the beginning of an era where you will also teach, lead, create, and make your own mark on this world. While there are so many individuals who have had such a powerful impact on our growth and success up to this point, what you do with what they've taught you is what will determine your path. In this next part of life, you get to take your dreams and make them a reality, and dare to dream of all the incredible things that you're going to accomplish. I was once told that the difference between a dreamer and an achiever is the person who wakes up every day with the willingness to work hard for their dreams. So in this next chapter of life, be a dreamer, but not just that. Don't let others tell you it's not possible. Don't sleep on your potential, and don't give up on the things that you are truly passionate about. I want to encourage every one of you today to make this diploma not just be a symbol of where we've been and the end of waking up at 6:30 every weekday with some late homework assignments, but proof that despite obstacles, drawbacks, and bad days that seemed like they would never end, you made it here because of your commitment, your drive, persistence, character, and unwillingness to give up when life was difficult. One of the greatest lessons that I've learned here in high school is that sometimes winning, being number one, or making it to the top is not the greatest success. When you train for days for that sports game and you still lost that game, it hurt. That's why it hurt even more when you also lost the next game. When you practiced a piece of music for hours and you still messed it up in your final concert, you asked yourself if any of that time was even worth it. When you studied for hours for a test and you only got a C+, you wondered if any of that time was worth it. When you practiced a scene for the play over and over and you still couldn't remember your lines, you wondered if acting was really for you. In those trying times, you had the option of quitting, but you didn't. That's why, even if you still didn't win that sports game, play that song perfectly in your concert, get an A on that test, or say every line right, it was a success. Because through all of that hard work, you grew and you came out so much stronger. Let that be a lesson to you that even in failures, those can be some of the biggest successes in life. Flashback to the beginning, I remember that very first day of school in Mashpee. None of us knew what was to come. We were all just strangers in a room together. And I didn't know on that day that the people that I walked in and looked at would become some of my closest friends, almost like family. And the people that I will work for the rest of my life to make proud.
Today we will leave and officially close this chapter of our lives. And for that reason, I want to say thank you for all the memories and a huge congratulations to my class, the class of 2021. At this time, I respectfully ask my fellow members of the graduating class to please stand and join me in this tassel ceremony. Congratulations.
Thank you, Clara. And one last time, let's hear it for the Mashpee Middle High School class of 2021. On behalf of the Mashpee School Committee, the Mashpee Middle High School faculty and staff, I want to thank everyone for attending this morning. Congratulations to our graduates and their families. At this time, we will have our recessional out. They'll do a cap throwing ceremony. And again, thank you for coming. You may take your graduates' sign from their seating area and have a great weekend. Thank you.